we use Emacs Press on a frame, and we do cuspid to cuspid. We use too much enamels, too much opals, too much translucency, and sometimes we change the light. Okay, guys, this is the guilty picture of a scoop. This is the patient that I saw a long time ago, like 12 years ago, because she was one of our patients, and she came to the practice because she wants to change the two central teeth. So, I work next to three prosthodontics. So one of them called me and, Rafa, let me introduce Mr. whatever is the name of the person. And she wants to change this the frontal teeth. Let's take the color. So I was super impressed when I see that kind of a contrast between cervical dentin and incisal edge, because if you take a nice observation about it, you can see properly the real opal effect. The opal effect that you see in the incisal edge is amazing. So, you know, you know, I was in shock when I saw that, because, you know, the person was super tired with that teeth and they want to change it. So I request the doctor to put an intraoral mirror, because, you know, I was curious why that opal effect was so hard in that kind of teeth. So when I see inside the mouth and I see the palatal side of the centrals, I see that the patient's grinds completely the dentin that the teeth has in lingual, and they leave only the buccal part of the tooth. That's why we can see all the translucency through the buccal, because what happened? The oral concavity is dark, so translucency plus dark, you know, you can create some kind of translucency. So that's why I get in shock with that picture, and I go back to the lab and I say, listen, I think I can make something. I can develop something doing or follow that kind of teeth that I just saw it. So of course I go to the lab and I start doing some testing. I'm start doing some calibrations in the wax, some calibrations, then in the press, and I figured out that I can develop something really nice. So that's why we develop a scoop technique. And so we want to show a little bit what are the best 5 philosophies of a scoop, and then I want to start show you guys some cases, and I will show you my first course that I did with a scoop. So let's start, okay? So this is a picture that I took with Carlos Ayala. Carlos Ayala is a famous photographer that is a dentist too, from Peru. I bring him to the lab to help me to take a picture of the step of what we are doing, what we are trying to develop, what we are trying to teach. So he helped me with the pictures of the scoop technique step by step. So what is the advantage of a scoop technique? Is one of those is incisal position, because what happened? Let's say you did a diagnostic wax up, right? If you do a diagnostic wax up and then you follow that in your press technique or in your CAD-CAM technique, you have the incisal position, because what happened? Normally we cut back from buccal and we add ceramic, but we know that normally the ceramic contracts, so we never get in the same position. We get close, but we never get in the same position. With the scoop, yes. With scoop, yes, because you do the carving from lingual. That's why you have control of the incisal position, and you have control of your shape, because you are not modifying the shape. Normally, when we do ceramic, we modify the shape a little bit. Opacity, why? Because, you know, we are preparing the tooth from buccal to lingual. More thick is the wall, more opacity you have. Translucency, why? Because more thinner is the wall, you have more translucency. And value, why value? Because, you know, normally we technicians love to use too much enamels, too much opals, too much translucency, and sometimes we change the value. Sometimes we change the value because we can control that sometimes, and sometimes we don't think that the concavity of the mouth is dark. So sometimes we see a nice crowns in the model, but when we go to the mouth, everything looks grayish. It's because we use too much translucency, too much enamels. So one of the ways to control the value of the restoration is doing that technique, okay? So let me show you my first case. So this is the initial situation of the patient. We decide to do a bleach, okay? So in that way we pick it up, what kind of ingot we want to use, and technique and everything. So in that case, we already have the press tooth in the solid model. And you guys can see that we reduce the lingual part like 2 millimeters inside, okay? And you see, 2 millimeters. So we create a thin wall. And this is the way, this is an example. The color that the images that you see in the left side is the color that we place from palatal, right? And the color you can see, the imaging you can see in the right side is the translucency, or is the color that you transmit from palatal to buccal. That's why I say, if you want to control opacity, you make that wall a little bit thicker. If you want more translucency, you make it a little bit thinner. So more thicker is the wall, more opacity you have. More thinner is the wall, more translucency you have, right? So it's a double technique. You need to do an external glaze, in external stain and glaze technique, because you need to finish your crown with the effects you like. Crack lines, cervical, more chromatic in cervical, or whatever you need to do. And then you need to do the internal stain in the concavity of the scoop to create more three-dimensional movements, okay? So that's why we use two techniques in the same shot. The same shot you need to do two techniques: the external part of the crown and the internal part of the tooth, that is the scoop. Okay. So for the tooth that I need to mimic, I use this kind of effects. Some cream, some blue, some white, and then I bake it, and I did all my stratification with Opal 1 from IMAX-RM. Okay, and this is the trying. Remember, that was my first case using a scoop technique. Okay, so this is a month control. Okay, we did the value picture, and this is our final result. 2-3 months later. You guys need to understand that it's a 90% monolithic crown. We did only 5% or 6% of stratification. So it's really important to pick the right ingot, and do then your nice wax up, your nice texture, your nice technique. So Ivoclar helped me to publish that article in Germany. That was like 11 years ago. So we did that article, and this is a nice case that we did using two kind of technologies. We did a CAD-CAM technology using two different materials, because I think it's important to understand what happened with each material. So we use Empress and we use IMAX CAD. And we did the same. We did you see the internal stain from inside the concavity. We did the external stain, follow some characteristics of the restoration. And then once the glaze is finished, we need to follow. For example, if you put in the concavity blue in the distal and mesial, a little bit of chroma in the mamelons in the middle of the tooth, the idea is try to follow the same color with the ceramic. So if I put blue stain in distal and mesial, I need to put blue enamel in distal and mesial. If I put a little bit of mamelon light if I put a little bit of cream in the mamelon area, I need to put a little bit of mamelon light. Okay, we can create some translucency with clear, and then we cover everything with enamels. So we need to do the same build that what we do from buccal, but from palatal. Okay, this is step by step what we do. That's the result of the two restorations. Okay, So this is step by step. You can see how much translucency we can create from palatal. And remember, we need to finish first buccal side. And then we need to start the build-up. Cover everything with enamel. And here is the translucency of the restoration. Here is the case done. And we can see here how the materials works different. For example, we pick the same color, but we can see that the Empress crown has more luminosity in the incisal edge than the IMAX ones. So it's really important to understand what is the ideal material that we need to use, okay? This is another case that we are doing some different crowns, different veneers with different stump shades colors. So this is our patient with the preparation. So in that case, for example, we wax, normally we wax everything. We use the geo wax a lot. We wax 100% everything in wax and then press. I consider that for posterior teeth, we can find a lot of material that give us enough strength, enough aesthetics in the posteriors, and I think monolithic is the future in the posterior restorations. So we use IMAX press for most of our big cases. So, and then we do a stain and glazing posteriors, and you can see here in the anteriors, everything is already glazed in the concavity. You see blue in the distal and mesial and some chroma in the middle of the tooth. This is the case finished in the solid model. And this is our trying, okay? And this is the case like 6 months later. You can see all the effects you see in the incisal edge are from palatal. I'm from palatal. But the beauty of this case is we have a lot of, we have some vitality in the incisal edge, and we have the value control. You can see that this is like a 1-in-1 BL4 color, and still we have a nice value control, but we have some vitality in the incisal edge. That is the idea of a scoop. Create some three-dimensional movement in that part of the restoration. You can see here too the nice integration with the soft tissue that is really important too. Okay, you can see the vitality of the restorations, and this we published that case here in America, and then Ivoclar did all the global information about change from ingots values to MT. Remember, we have before value ingots that are value 1, value 2, value 3, and opal 1, value 2, opal 1, opal 2, and then we change everything to a medium translucency ingot. So they use my case to do the global campaign promoting this case, this material. This is another case that we did with some friends in Venezuela, where we have a big composite between the teeth, and then they remove the composite, and we find out the big space between centrals. And he did his nice preparation, going back to maybe at the same level, a little bit back from the papilla, because is the only way that you guys cover the connection between restoration and teeth. So he did a great job. Then he gives me the stump shade information that is really important when we use translucent materials. Then they did the wax up in Venezuela, and from there we did the mock-up. Okay, we did the mock-up, and then we press everything. We wax, press, and then we start finishing our crowns. You see, I did the build-up with different ceramics, different colors, to create a 3D effect in the incisal edge. And this is the case finished in our solid model. You can see the movement, the colors in the incisal part. This is a weak control. This is a 8 months control. You can see the movement in the teeth, the individualization between each restoration. We always are focusing in our, nice gingival contours, nice incisal embrasures, and try to make everything more natural, not like piano keys or something in one color. That is really, really, in this market in America, everybody wants white colors. So this is our final case. And this is the article we did. This is something a little bit more extreme, this is a young girl that, break his front teeth doing skateboard, and was super hard treatment because she tried like 5 times to do a bone graft and all the stuff, and at the end everything, at the end finally the bone graft healed, and the surgeon sent me the case and told me, Rafael, I need to place ideally 3 teeth in the space that I have. So from there he started his surgery, and then implants heal. They put the prosto guy put some snap-on restoration until the implants get healed properly. So when the patient was ready to take the impression, we did an indirect impression to get exact copy of the temporaries to mimic all the restoration to that. So these cases are special. That, like I say before, I work with 3 prosthodontics next to me. So the big cases and the important cases, normally I'm available to start the case in the morning and finish the case in the afternoon, no matter what. So this is our trying, everything is, before we normally use press technology. So we wax everything before press. This is our case. In the moment that patient came, we start doing the trying, shaping the teeth, organizing occlusion, pushing a little bit of soft tissue. If we have too much pressure, we start removing pressure little by little. Now we know that we don't have papilla in that space, so we took the color of the gum. Then we go to the lab, and you can see now the translucencies that we start creating the incisal edges, little by little. Then we go to the lab and we finish our case. We did a 3-unit bridge, Emax bridge, and 1 single veneer. This is the case in the mouth 2 months later. You see, still the soft tissue, needs some work, needs some regeneration, but I think the result is something, acceptable. From we start to now, I think it's something really acceptable. But you see the vitality of the incisal edges is not ceramic, it's not buccal buildup. It's something that we create from the palatal of the tooth. So we can create shape, we can create value, we can control the value. Value is really, really important. More when you try to use A1, B1 colors, that if you put too much clear or whatever enamel in the amount that is not properly, you will get low value restorations. Okay, so this is the close-up of the restoration. This is a nice case. This is a nice case because it's a complex case. This is a friend of mine that she had for so many years gold onlays and inlays in the posterior area. And gold is amazing material for restoration, but you know what? Grind, with the time, everything get down and get lost. You lost all your gold, you lost everything, and at the same time, you guys are, everybody is closing vertical dimension. So what is the protocol here, or what is the treatment here? The treatment here is remove the gold restorations and try to compensate a little bit the curve of SP. So we start doing something in the posteriors, in the lower posteriors. So we did the eggshell design to create the posterior crowns. We did the design, then we did the preparations with the preparations and take the intraoral impression with the scanner, with the iTero scanner, and at the same time we develop with the same file. We developed the eggshell for the upper part, but the idea was deliver first the lower crowns to organize the curve of the speed. Okay, and that was our protocol. Deliver first the lower crowns. We did a zirconia crowns stain and glaze that, like I said before, I think is enough material to make a nice and good restorations. And then once we cement the lower crowns, we go to the upper arch